still shaking the table.
And type. It's actually very, I tell a lot of musicians, you just have to understand what you are diving into, because you should be original as an artist.
Yeah.
Be original no matter what you want to do.
Well.
Yo, what's up guys? Your main man here, JayDany from Criptonx Studios. So, in a rapidly changing and highly competitive creative industry, you need just more than the talent to thrive and succeed. You need passion, consistency, and above all, you need credible platforms like this one to showcase your creativity. And that's why we bring to you a show where we delve into the creative minds of artistic trailblazers. A show where guests across different creative spectrum share their successes, hurdles, career experiences, and the inspiration that fuels their passion. Welcome to the Creative Joint. Let's go. So in today's episode, I have an amazing talent, a super talented, a multi-talented record producer, a musician, a worship leader, a super and multi-talented instrumentalist, I must tell you. This guy has an array of lists that I can't just exhaust at this particular introduction. I'm talking of no other than the baddest record producer from the South, my own brother, Chrisbass, I will call him. His name is Chrisbass, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to have you, sir, on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, good to have you. You're just looking fly and just blinking like, what's going on, man?
So nice to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
bro.
you so much.
Good to have you, brother. All right, so guys, in case you don't know, me and this guy, we go way back, like truly. All right, so we're really glad to have you on this particular episode, So nice we couldn't wait for you to just to get into the studio and let's do this. All right, so we're going to be talking to you, sir, briefly about a lot of things, So quickly, can you tell our viewers who's Chrisbass? Of course, I know Chrisbass like I do, but tell us about you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me here. My name is Chrisbass.
Yep.
Like he earlier said, I'm a record producer and a worship leader, a vocal coach, and a multi-instrumentalist. So.
This particular creative is someone that I particularly I've worked with him in several platforms. As a matter of fact, just to mention, when Criptonx Studio first started, this was one of the pillars that used to come around Criptonx and help with the foundation, just in case you don't know, all right? So that's why we're truly excited,
way back.
Yeah, so when I say way back, it's really way back.
Amazing.
And, glad to see where Criptonx Studio, the brainchild that you also help in building what we're actually doing, with your help and with the help of God. Consistency, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so let's talk about your music, basically, So we know you are a record producer, you're a musician. Can you take us through the journey so far? Of course, we know how challenging the industry can be, basically. So do you want to run us through into your own challenges or personal experiences, what it has been so far? Of course, I've known you way back, like the early 2000s. So how's that experience been from then till now?
Wow. Basically, consistency is actually the key to setting your path in life.
Yeah.
The basic thing is when you're set to do something, and then you have the conviction that this is what you really want to do, and you give yourself all of you to it.
Yeah.
Definitely there were times where the challenges were there, but then understanding that we're ready for this journey, actually gave us the edge to, fly. So we're here today, by the grace of God, and it's been amazing. It's been glorious.
Yeah.
And we will keep flying.
Yeah, so that's the spirit. Like we all know on the show, we talk about doggedness, fighting spirit of exceptional individual that just refuse to stop because they feel that this is what they are called to do, basically, which is incredible. So take us through your journey as a record producer, because I've had, an amazing experience as well with you as a record producer. So you produce loads and loads of musicians. Yeah. So would you say, or would you compare being a record producer to being a recording musician? Which is easier?
Starting from the church scene,
Okay.
where we all were in the choir, we could sing.
Yeah.
The recording artistry part of me has always been there.
Okay.
But we dived into the production thing because we felt we could play the instrument, and then you just need to be, versatile, like get your mind broadened to achieving more things. It has to do with knowledge.
Yeah.
It has to do with knowledge. So I would not compare the two because this is me.
Yeah. You're doing the both already.
I'm doing the
we
both
understand.
already, yeah.
So we're just asking, and we're just anxious to know, or inquisitive to know, which is easier, because of course I do both as well, right? So usually there's this tendency, like when you're producing, you want to compare it to like the immediate gratification it gives when it comes to maybe what is bringing to the table in terms of finance and all that. And you're also looking at when you're putting out your content individually as a recording musician, the gratification of just sitting back and watching your brainchild, like your music, you're listening to the audio, you're watching the visual on TV or on your system. There's this feeling it brings, and they're never the same. I can tell you that.
Well, none is easy.
In a simple term, none is easy. Okay, just
none is easy. I derive joy in doing both.
Okay, basically, as a musician, we've talked about being a record producer and being a musician. How many songs can you place a hand like you've been able to produce for maybe other musicians? That's a lot, but can you wrap your head around the number of music you put out there as, a record producer?
I honestly don't think I can.
You can, because
it's actually it's been a lot.
It's been a lot of music. Yeah, that's amazing. How about your personal project?
Okay, for my personal project, actually, it's for over a year now. I stopped
putting out content.
Producing for other people.
Okay.
Actually stopped that so I could concentrate on my own project.
On your own project. Yeah. Okay, that's amazing.
So,
I think that's what I should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's very challenging and it's distracting.
Mixing both,
trying to produce for some other person, and then you have yours to work.
Finding the time to be creative for yourself.
So for over a year now, I've not really taken any production job from an external artist.
Okay.
It's just been my project.
That's amazing.
And
okay.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of projects you've been working personally for yourself.
For myself.
Okay. So do we have numbers to put around it? Like
actually working on my album.
Wow.
Wow. It's a 15 tracks album.
Wow.
And then I have For You, it's out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask. Do you want to let the cat out of the bag? Just give us like their title or something.
Okay.
Maybe top 5 or top. Yeah.
We'll have Love of My Life. It's actually out there.
Okay.
But talking about God.
I know. The God is love. I know. That's don't worry. And the viewers already know who you're talking about. It's fine.
And then For You.
Yeah.
Talking about everything I have to do. It's for Him.
Yeah.
For His glory.
Yeah.
Talking about God.
Okay.
So, and then couple of them actually out there.
Yeah.
But then, that's what it's been.
In all of these songs, of course, there's always like the one that would stand out and really mean something based on maybe an experience or something that you can relate with from the song on a personal level.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any such song in this number of songs out of the 15 that you would say that this particular one means a lot to me?
Basically, most of my songs are bettered by the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
And then they come when praying, the early hours of the morning when I'm praying. But there's this particular song that came. Okay, it's a bit emotional for me.
Go ahead, share it. Your viewers want to know about it, man.
I actually wrote the song the day I received the news that I lost my mom. So the song came.
Wow.
It's for you. I was trying to relate how God has been amazing, despite my past, despite the things we did in the past.
Yeah.
And, God has always been, loving and there for us. So that song always reminds me a lot about that scene, but it's been beautiful.
And you can also relate it with, I think the song for me, I'm beginning to sense why it dropped when it dropped, because, when you compare the love of a mother passing, a mother, no matter what you do, will always be there.
That's right.
I guess that's when, maybe that's why the song dropped. I'm guessing, I never know.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't record it then.
Okay.
It was when I decided I was going to, take this part of me.
Yeah.
Serious.
Wow.
Not producing for people, but understanding that I had a calling that must be nurtured.
Yeah.
And I have to be the one to nurture it.
Yeah, not just nurturing others.
That's right.
That's like, the parable, like Africans say, no go farm for another person farm.
That's it.
Farm your own, water your own garden. Like we say. It's actually amazing to know that inspiration also comes through this way, which is actually an area we wanted to ask, how does your creative process work? Especially when you want to produce a track, say for instance, for a fellow musician. Say if I walk into your studio as a recording musician and I'm to work with you, how does your creative process work? You want to run us through that particular, do you do your beat first, or you want to hear the musician first? How does it work?
Yeah, the basic thing is when an external body walks in and wants to produce a song.
Yeah.
Being a music person, first thing you do is hear the person sing.
Exactly.
And then you have to sit on the keyboard and draft out the progressions of whatever the person is singing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then in drafting out the progression, other things will start dropping. You now know what tone to go.
The beats would sound like
it comes. It just connects.
How it will build.
It just connects. You just build.
Well, I'm sorry to interject. Well, if you're an artist, like they call it here in Nigeria, that means you don't know what a song progression is. You don't know what the song chord is. Well, sorry, brother. Well, you can get inspired, Well, anyway, that's just on the lighter note. Come on, can you just go on?
Yeah. Let me add to what he just said. It's simple. Just go on Google and type.
You're still shaking the table.
And type. It's actually very, I tell a lot of musicians, you just have to understand what you are diving into.
Yeah.
Not just because
like beyond the beat.
Beautiful. Not just because you were walking on the road and then you heard the major challenge a lot of them bring to my table is Baba, there's this beat one of these Davido song.
It sounds like
please, I will send you the beat.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
And then you get a Davido's beat, and he's telling you, I wrote something with this beat. Please, can you just help me? Maybe just change.
And you want to hear them sing that Davido sound that they are hearing in their head.
A lot of times when you try to alter that beat to do something a bit different from that, they are not satisfied.
It has to be exactly that way.
It has to be that.
And that's like stifling creativity.
It's
putting it in a box.
It's what's the right word to use? You're stealing.
Okay.
Because you should be original as an artist.
Yeah.
Be original, no matter what you want to do. Be original.
Well, of course, you're right, partly there, but I think also inspiration comes in different forms.
Very correct.
We can also listen to others and be inspired.
Very correct.
To do creative things.
Very correct.
The show basically it's for creative, all right? So people can be watching. Of course, many watching actually will be getting inspiration from, how things are done. Of course, we bring different creatives to the show. So today is a record producer that's talking to them. So they definitely will get inspiration from how you do you. How your processes work. So basically, it means that, of course, copying the whole thing in total, for me, that's stealing.
That's stealing.
The word stealing. But if you're just speaking inspiration, I like the way this chord was sounding.
That's right.
Let me see how I can create a chord similar.
Alter it.
And make it mine. Look, the point is also, like you mentioned, there's for me, I believe these are all just music illiterate that can do that. But that's actually the word, you know. If you're educated musically, there's no sane musician that should do that.
True.
You just pick a song chord A to chord C. You are doing the same thing. There's no difference. True. That's like silly. True. So basically, guys, I told you today we're going to be talking about something deep, and here you're getting just raw as it is. So if you're creative enough and you're in this space as a musician, this table we're trying to shake now for you anyways, but just we believe that you're going to be growing anyway. So Chris Breezy,
yes boss,
we're glad to have you, my brother. So I think before we progress, let's just make this live, because of course most people already feeling what are these ones feeling like pros. Yes, we are really pros anyways, just in case you don't know. But that's on the light end that we're all pros, all right? We're all professional in what we do. So we're going to go into a quick game segment. The game is called the quick fire segment. That means in 60 seconds you're going to attempt to answer as many questions as possible.
Whoa.
We have, I think, 15 questions, so in 60 seconds.
60 seconds.
Yes. One of the rules is that if you don't know any of the question or you're not very comfortable with, you could say pass.
Okay, pass.
That's actually what enables us to go to the next set of questions.
Pass.
All right, so you could say pass. All right, you ready?
That's right.
So favorite music instrument?
Keyboard.
Top fashion trend to ban if you have the chance?
Pass.
Favorite music genre to listen to for inspiration?
Worship.
A must-have item in your studio or workspace?
The keyboard.
If you're to time travel, will you go to the past or the future?
Future.
Favorite music video or project you've been a part of?
Pass.
Favorite time of the day for inspiration, night or day?
Morning, early hours.
Okay, morning. Your ideal kind of woman in 2 words?
Beautiful, God-fearing.
Beautiful, God-fearing. Okay. What's lyrics you've ever heard in a song? You don't want to say pass or?
I just did the hook of the song.
You just did the hook of the song, you know, by whistling it. Okay. So last question: if you have the chance to perform between or to collaborate with your favorite musician and $10 million, what will it be?
$10 million.
$10 million, bad guy. And the time is up. We move on. Chris Breezy is still with us, ladies and gentlemen. So in case you don't know, we still have an amazing record producer, a performing musician himself, a worship leader, a voice coach, and the list goes on and on. So this is a top-notch professional, not just anyone coming on the show today. So, and we've been talking about some things very deep that we don't just discuss with just a normal recording musician. This is someone that has seen it all as a record producer. That means he builds and generates music, if you wish, you know, from scratch. He understands what it means, and he also can write the song from scratch and bring it to life, basically. So we've been talking with Chrisbass all the way from South Nigeria, my own boy. I always like to be involved with something that I know I will look back years from and remember. All right, it could be that I remember and I smile, or I remember and I learned something from. So are there such memorable moments for you where you were involved in a project, or maybe you were performing somewhere, or you're producing, then there's this thing that just happened and you can't do without whenever you remember?
Okay, couple of them.
Okay.
This guy actually, so a couple of years ago, worked on his project, and we're done with the mixing.
Yeah.
And then he walked into the studio, and I was actually working on another song, now a lady's song.
Okay.
And after we played his song, he was like, why is his voice not sounding like the lady's voice? I was like, dude, this is a woman.
Yeah. So move it to make it sharp.
This is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes I'd
a funny experience, right? There.
One of the guy who just walked into the studio, and his song was ready, and he now remembered, I need to do an intro.
Yeah.
And then we gave him the microphone. Okay, go do your intro. Yeah. And then he was like, yo, Chris beat on the bass.
This is real, man. This is real.
And sometimes You know, when the flash comes, it's funny.
Basically, what you're saying is your experience has been like mostly funny, meeting funny musicians. And look, for me, I get to this point that I've seen most of that and I can't just deal, basically. So I have a threshold right now that I can't just go beyond.
Yeah.
So that means I don't take such musicians to work with, basically. So, but generally, it can actually help you also just loosen things up a bit. Yeah, so you meet these guys that they really don't know so much, but they really want to do this. And most of them truly don't know that they don't know. That's actually the most annoying part. And they come into your space and they're trying to like show that, oh, they know so much, but they truly don't know.
That's why right now, if I actually meet such kind of people and I'm led to work with you. Because I don't work with everybody.
Of course.
If I'm actually led to work with you, I would make you go through the training process for at least 3 weeks. First thing first, for you to understand what you're about to do. You know, get your vocals right, and then before we start recording.
Oh, I think that's great. That's great.
That's what I do now. Amazing. You just have to go through that training.
Because if you don't, you'll be the one to suffer in the long run. Because you put someone on the microphone and you find out that for the 8 hours later you can't record nothing meaningful.
And you know, because right now production has actually been very interesting. Where you can actually record the wackest artist and then arrange his vocals.
Oh no!
But sometimes I actually feel, pity for them because what if you're giving
on a live stage
where you have to sing with just the instrumentalist?
The same question I asked most of them.
No backups. Just you alone. What would you do?
Even if you have to have backups.
What would you
do? As a solo artist, you need to do your part, You understand that. And, the thing is, the show is called The Creative Joint, okay? So we're talking creativity generally. These are like challenges for me. I don't know if it's a challenge for you. Meeting most of these guys in the course of, trying to perform our duties as a record producer. I produce people that, just like what you're mentioning, someone walked into the studio and say, oh, I want to produce a song. I say, okay, can you sing? And I'm on the keyboard, I'm trying to find, the singing. I say, oh, what is the key of your song? He's saying,
very basic.
He's saying, what is that, boss? No, like seriously, I'm like, no, it's a key that you recorded the song that you said, no, listen to it on my phone now. Like he truly doesn't have an idea of what that is. So it tells he is not just a music illiterate, he is out of the scene. He's not even supposed to be there. And then when he eventually sings, you can tell the reason why he shouldn't be here. So for me, that's a challenge. So these are like challenges that we face. What has been the challenges that you have been facing as a recording musician? All right, currently you're working on your project independently. You're also producing, of course. So, and you produced in the past. So what have been the challenges that you've seen as a recording musician over the years? Not just working for your project, but with working for other musicians.
Like I earlier explained, if you come into the studio and I hear you sing and I understand, I know that this one is not a music person. I would give you the offer of going through this training process.
Okay.
And I would monitor that process.
The progress as well.
And the progress to get to a certain level where I am convinced that this person is ready. To start recording. And the other ones are not really a challenge because an artist is supposed to know what he or she wants. If a producer sends you an audio and tells you this is a finished job, you should know as a music recording artist if the mix is fine, if you're okay with this, if there are actually some tones you need the guy to change. In this part of the world, we're just okay with everything. We're just okay with everything because we feel a producer is supposed to be the one to produce,
The sound
mix,
engineer,
and then do
master.
everything all by himself.
Yeah.
It was when I started working on my project, I now understood that, you can't do everything.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the songs in my album were not mixed by me.
And that's how to go about it.
And a lot of them, I just do the sketch and I send.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the sketch and I send. It's either I finish the production, I allow another person to play the piano line for me, just to get something very different.
Adding some flavor to your tone. Because the thing is, familiarity, that's how you get familiar with your own self, truly. And when you get to that point, it happened to me like a lot of times. I sent a couple of songs to you, right? Can you just do a piano line? Because I don't want you be in this space where I get used to my own self.
Not because you can't play.
No, not because I can't. That's because I want to bring a different creative ability into that project. Yes.
Right.
And I want to bring a different flavor. Because I get so used to, like, of course, every creative person gets to that place that you're used to yourself. Oh, this is what I want to do. Oh, I'm doing it this way. But if you also bring, I think creatives abroad, not just abroad, like most creative in Africa, actually, we're waking up and getting to that place where, of course, you want to create a project. You should know that it should be a line of people that you bring into project to bring in flavors. Bring different flavors. Not to mention, of course, if you have the skills and the skill set to be able to produce, to mix and master, you can work at some occasion. But it doesn't also mean that at every occasion you should be the one to do so. I can't remember the last time I mixed.
You're very correct.
No, truly, I don't. All I do, I just record and send it out. And that's how it should be, basically, because I don't want to get used to myself too much that I do the same thing over and over. So let's leave the technical challenge, because I know we find a way around this thing.
That's right.
And it seems easy, but it's not, truly. If you're not planning for it ahead, or if you don't prepare and expect these challenges, it's something that you get caught unawares. Let's talk about like the general challenge when it comes to, okay, after you must have recorded the song, pushing the songs out. Yeah, because we live in an era where, you know, getting your content out and promotion is like so monetized in a way that you need to have a certain amount of, I don't know if it happens to you guys down there in the South, but down here, look, it's actually cash and carry, if I should call. So the guy with the highest bidder actually gets the biggest promotion. So how do you handle that particular element when it comes to you as a recording musician?
Well, aside building relationship with most of these promoters, it's challenging. Because if you don't have the funds,
there's no two ways about it. There's no English to speak.
That's the basic challenge. The major challenge every artist out there who is still not out there, who's still struggling to raise a lot of funds to promote his or herself, passes through. But then promotion is promotion. You have to spend money to promote yourself. So the challenging part of it is how to raise the funds.
Which everyone will do face at some point.
When you raise the fund, the avenues are there. The avenues are there. So that's just it. Okay, that's cool. As a worship leader, I saw a video of you while you were worshiping and people were just all over the place. Those are like experiences that are not normal. All right? People were just worshiping and all over the ground and all that. Can you take us through what it is? Because I know, listen, it is a creative joint. The Holy Spirit, I believe, is the biggest inspiration, right? That can give a man such utterance to minister. So can you take us through what those kind of moments mean to you and how does it happen? Does anyone just hold a microphone and you see those kind of moments? Because I'm very certain you'll be inspiring some worship leaders actually out there. This is it. For me, as a worship leader, I understand how spiritual worship is. Worship is not all about having the very beautiful, smooth, soothing vocals. You know, it's deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's deeper than that.
Can you say that again? They would like to hear it.
Worship is not all about having the sweet, smooth, soothing vocals.
Yeah.
It's deeper, way, way deeper than that. For me, I always prepare myself. I get myself prepared.
Yeah. Fasting,
praying, and allowing the Holy Spirit to be the guide.
All right, guys, your main man here, JayDany, and I'm still here with an amazing creative personality here on this particular episode. So if this content actually appeals to you in any form and is the kind of content that you love, this is a content where, you know, it's about creativity generally. So if you are into fashion, you are into entertainment, you are into just anything you're doing creatively, this is the kind of show that you should actually enjoy. So if this appeals to you, kindly leave us a comment, leave us a like, and hit that subscribe button so whenever we share content, you'll be the first to know. All right, so I think we've almost come to the end of this particular episode, so I don't want us to prolong it longer than it is. Any final word for your fans? Anything you want to say to your fans about your upcoming music and what they should be expecting, basically?
I've actually been working on a couple of projects, so just keep your fingers crossed. We are coming out with a lot of Holy Ghost filled songs that would, you know, cause you to worship, songs that would bring you out of depression, songs that will make you dance and be happy with yourself.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
My homeboy Chrisbass, ladies and gentlemen, I've been talking with a record producer, songwriter, an incredible talent that, you know, I can just exhaust the list, you know, mentioning. And we've been discussing creativity generally. He's been sharing his personal experiences, what the journey has been so far for him. So if this content appeals to you, please kindly do leave us a like, a comment, and hit that subscribe button. So whenever we share content, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much, Breezy, for stopping by. We're glad to have you, all right?
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main man here, JayDany. I'm signing out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace out.